a bird's eye view of the money you're allocating in development to understand the money you will be allocating for fabric, trims, and production in general. Is there any questions so far? Let me check. Okay, we're doing good. So besides that, also technical designers provide value for full tech pack development, because in addition to providing the construction information and the technical sketch, we will make the size chart for you, which is one of the most important things to have during pre-production, since the grader will need this to make the graded patterns. Those are the patterns in the sizes. You can have the most beautiful sample, but without approved graded specs, you cannot produce a line, because you need those specs to do all the other pre-production steps, basically. So circling back to efficiency in the process, communication is super important. Technical designers have the experience of communicating with any factory or production team. This will give you the freedom to choose a factory according to what the strong suit of that factory is, but also helps you build a strong relationship with your factory, because you are providing the factory with all the tools they need to succeed. And when they win, they win. When they win for you as well. So in the end, we transition you to your factory setting with a graded spec, a full tech pack, and digital patterns. Once the fit is approved, that's very important, we need to do the fittings first, into the factory of your choice. So I see a few questions popped up. Let me go back, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Hi, so first question. Can you make patterns for textile products that are fashion related? Like pillows and covers? Yes, we can make patterns for anything that is fashion related or that we can manipulate fabric somehow. So yes, we can do that. Second question, what's an approximate cost to get something from concept to sample, for example, pants? So the cost, we would have to see first what the design is. So we can see, what's the labor behind pattern making, and then we can give you an approximate cost of like sample. So what I can give you right now is the process. So we would need first to look at the design and discuss it with you to see the labor that goes behind it, your pants, for example. And then we would talk fabrics if we need to like help you source that, or if you have that already. And then we'll quote you for tech pack, the pattern making, and fittings. Usually I like to keep it to 1 to 2 fits because I like to upgrade the second fitting to pre-production sample. I said it before, but I'll repeat it. I like making the samples in the bulk fabric whenever possible that you will be producing with, if not something very similar. So basically that would be our time and action plan. And from that, we can either, quote you on the whole project, or we can quote you a la carte, depending on what you need. So reach out to me and we can definitely discuss your pants and we can give you an approximate cost. Hope that answers your question. Thank you. Hi. Do you work with international factories? We work with any factory that you would like to work with, whether that's overseas or local. Definitely Makers Row has a lot of factories that you should reach out to that are within the 50 United States. But for sure, if you have an overseas factory, that shouldn't be a problem. That's something that we can work with you. How do you hire? So next question, thank you. How do you hire a good technical designer? Thank you for asking. That's what today it's about. So I'll just recap. So you need to look for the who and the how they do this. So the who, which is a good way to hire a technical designer, is make sure when you're talking to this person, when you're looking what they developed for other people, if that's something that they can show you, that has an understanding of markets and fit, most likely because this person has formal design background. LinkedIn is also another way of like looking into the background of your technical designer. But number two, but part of what we mentioned here, number two, this person has also formal background and industry experience in developing sizes, understanding grade rules, and proportion for different body shapes, and fitting on life models. The way you could, during your conversation, it's this person can break down your technical designer, how they would work with your specific size, and they can break down how to achieve the fit that you want. And number three, this person has a strong understanding of deadlines, the production process, and pattern making and problem solving skills. So those were the three that we mentioned of like who your technical designer is and what should you be looking for when you're interviewing your technical designers and the type of answers they give you. So I hope that answers your question. Next question, can you make tech packs and patterns or products not fashion related? Yes, I believe we answered that one, but yes, we can. How do you typically pay technical designers? So my company is a technical design hub. What we do is that we have services that we can do a la carte, or we can take your project as a whole and take you, like I said, from A to C to make sure that you have all the tools that the factory will need to be able to bulk produce your line. And you can pay the project, or you can pay, at least for my company, you can pay a la carte. So hope that answers your question. Another question, create the first pattern so I don't have to reinvent the wheel each time I design a garment. I'm not sure if I understand this question. Create the first pattern so I don't have to reinvent the wheel each time I design a garment. So if I'm understanding this correct, yes, usually we make a block of a pattern, and then from that block, you can design different things. You can add sleeves, you can change the neckline, but everything comes from that block. So you're not reinventing the wheel of messing too much with the fit if you have a specific fit in mind for your specific design or line. But yes, we can create patterns from a block, and that would definitely bring down the labor because we're not doing this from scratch. We're doing this from your specific blog or a blog that was done for you. Hope that answers your question, Aina. Okay, next. What's the hardest pattern you've ever made, or the hardest garment to make patterns for? I think that the second question makes more sense. It's not that it's the hardest. What happens in pattern making is that it becomes labor intensive. There you go. So anything that it's coats, that it's outerwear, that requires to have linings or different facings or different construction techniques to like achieve a certain fit or for the garment to fall a certain way, like I think that the most challenging or the most time consuming from a pattern perspective is anything tailored, for sure, and anything outerwear, like coats and that, just because it has like, they need to perform, right? So they have pockets in specific placements. They have, closures that need to fold or do a certain way. If you see coats that need to perform and not get wet, so that means that you need to put over the zipper, and you still have this other piece that covers the zipper. So all that type of stuff. So it's not hard. It's just time consuming. And I would say that outerwear, anything tailored, it's out there. So I hope that answers your question. Just to get a gauge, do you have any example pieces and the prices associated with making that sample, even like a ballpark figure? Matt Whistles, yes, just send me a rough sketch or an image of what you would like quoted, and we can turn around a quote the same day. That's no problem. So I hope that answers your question, and hope we can discuss soon. Do you have a document that details what services and support are provided on the project, so as pattern design, component sourcing, etc.? Yes. Usually all that information, the information regarding your garment goes into the tech pack. So if we're talking about documents, all the document that holds all that information is the tech pack. It is basically the blueprint on how to make your garment. But if you need a breakdown of all our services, what we provide, and how we can either full service you or work with you a la carte, that's something that I can definitely, if you reach out to me directly, at makersrow.com/Nicole-Melendez. That is something that we can give you a quote. Like I said, just send me a rough sketch, an image of whatever you need quoting on, and we can talk about it. And I can definitely break it down and give you a time and action plan, so you have an idea of how to work with us. Aina, first part of the question is above the second message. Aina, if you can ask me again, I'm sorry. And I hope I answered your question earlier if I didn't. You're welcome. David, is it possible to provide an existing garment, but specify changes you want to make to that in reproduction, or is it easier to start from scratch? No, I think, yeah, we do it all the time. If you have an idea, or if you have a top that you want to like add sleeves, change the neck, but it's basically, it shows the idea of what you want with like changes that you would like to make. That is completely normal. We do it all the time, and it's something that we'll be able to help you with. In terms of like starting from scratch, it all depends. If we are, taking this specific pattern and modifying it as it is, or if we're taking some pieces of it and then making a new idea from it, like a Frankenstein idea of different ideas, but that comes from one garment, I would assume. So yeah, it'll depend, David. So hope that answers your question. And reach out to me, and we can like break it down for you for your specific garment. Do you sign an NDA when providing quotes? If you have one, I sign it. I have no issue with signing NDAs. Used to create the first message. Okay, let me see if we have any questions. Thank you. That makes sense. Yes, it does. Okay. Aina, let me see if I can find your question. So I don't think it went through. But I hope. So in terms of creating the first pattern, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time you design a garment. Yes, my suggestion was to make a block, and from that block of the body that you are creating, use it to modify it. Whether it's, like I said, this adding sleeves, like making different design changes around that body, making it shorter, making it a top, making it a dress. So you can for sure do that. Okay, everybody. So if there's not any more questions, I'll just do a quick recap of what we talked about today. We talked about who is the technical designer and how we do what we do. We said that the technical designer is the person that has understanding of markets and fit, developing sizes, understanding great rules, and proportion for different body size. So we can work with Missy, contemporary, or we can do us. And everybody has their, or petite, tall, so everybody has their different blocks. But we can definitely work with different body types. I think that's super important. And we have experience on working on live models. Also, super important, this person has to have critical understanding of deadlines, the production process, and pattern making, because that's what we do all day long. And then the how. So we talked to how great fits keeps people coming back. So since that's what we do, we specialize on, that's why we can provide the best rates. We have our finger on the pulse in the market, the current market value of what what patterns are going for. And we also keep up with like industry changes. So we're able to bring that efficiency, and in terms that efficiently keeps development costs under control and gives you a bird's eye view of like where you're allocating your money in development and what money you need to allocate then in fabric trims and the production overall. We also provide value by giving you a full tech pack. And by I mean a full tech pack, it's not only construction and sketches, but we develop the sizes for you, because your grader at the end of the day is going to need the approved graded specs to be able to, start pre-production, do the graded patterns, make the marker, but you need the approved graded specs. That is super important. And last but not least, by you providing your factory with the tools that they need to succeed, you're building a strong relationship with them, because you are setting them up to do the best work they can do for you. I can see other questions popped up. Matt, thank you for asking. Yes, I need to update my profile. I do. My focus is on women's wear, but I do have work with menswear. I do work with menswear. We have a few projects that we've done successfully in menswear. So yes, we do. We do both women's wear and menswear. So that needs to be updated. Thank you for reminding me. You're very welcome. Okay, so in the end, we transition you with the graded spec, the full tech pack, the digital patterns, once fit is approved, to the factory of your choice. So we did great today. You're very welcome, Sunny. Our time is up, but I hope that the points that we discussed today helped you understand how a technical design team can help you materialize your idea and keep costs under control while helping you build strong factory relationships. That's very important. That goes hand in hand. So thank you for tuning in at the Makers Row and the Embark Live platform. And make sure you click on the link at the bottom of the screen and join. Here you will find many experts that are available to help you bring your product to market, and like myself. So you can reach out to me on the Makers Row site at makersrow.com/Nicole-Melendez. Bye everyone, and have a great weekend. Do you help with sourcing as well? Yes. Depending on the project, we do. So like I was saying, have a great weekend. Yarbrough, reach out to me. Anybody that needs me to give them a quote or help them understand the timeline of their development, feel free to reach out to me. We can discuss it, turn it around, and you can get an idea of what you need to get. All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone.